is my all-time favorite time of the year. The mornings are starting to get a little chilly, a few of the leaves are starting to turn, and I'm fully shifting into cozy mode. But we all know what else that means. It is back to school season. Even if you're not technically going back to school, it's the perfect time of year to start planning super quick and easy make-ahead recipes. So today, I'm making my French toast muffins 2 ways. They are the perfect grab-and-go breakfast or snack, and you can do it sweet or savory. But we're gonna start with the classic and go sweet French toast muffins. Feel good about that? Oh, yeah. I love a grab-and-go breakfast. I am someone who, I always need breakfast in the morning, and I love just being able to grab something, know it's there in the fridge. Yeah, sure, maybe every once in a while I want to make an egg, but just having something in the fridge, perfect. It just sets you up for your day. So to get started, I'm gonna work on the custard mixture. And just like with any classic French toast, it's gonna start with some eggs and milk. Just delicious, super simple, and wonderful. So I've got 6 eggs here. And this is gonna make enough for 12 of those French toast muffins, which is perfect. So I'm just gonna crack those eggs on into this bowl. And I'm gonna start whisking those babies up. Now this is the thing. I feel like a lot of people think I can crack an egg one-handed. Nope. It is not. I can every once in a while do it, and I feel really successful, and then the next one, it just smushes in my hand like I'm the Hulk. So we're not gonna try that today. We're looking for a recipe for success, not eggshells. So crack those on into a bowl, and anytime I'm making French toast, my ratio is about 1 egg for every 2 slices of bread. So add those on in. And then before I add in the milk, I wanna whisk up those eggs. Because if you don't do this, you get to play the game that I call chase the egg around. If you put the milk in there first, you're gonna end up slopping around trying to find that last yolk. You're not gonna get it beaten in as well. So I give it a little bit of a rough beat, just to make it kind of sloppy. And then I'm gonna add in my milk. Now, if you wanted to go big, you could do this with cream, which I would not be mad at you for, because wouldn't that be nice? But I'm gonna add in about 1.5 cups of any sort of dairy. You could also do dairy-free milk as well. So basically, I do 1/4 cup of milk per egg. So that, bless you. Yeah. It's allergy season too. Back to school and allergies, I'm hearing ya. Now I'm just adding in 1.5 cups of that milk into that egg mixture. And essentially this is all you really need to start making that custard. A custard is just like a dairy and egg combination. But since we're starting with sweet French toast, I'm gonna add in 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. That's gonna give breakfasty vibes. And as you can tell, we're not measuring, so you do whatever you would like. Now to balance out that sweetness though, I'm adding in about 1/4 teaspoon of some salt. Anytime I'm making something sweet, I like a little bit of salt in there. And then we're going a little classic with about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract and about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. This is where you can kind of go wild. If you want, you could do nutmeg in here and kind of give it a little old-fashioned donut vibe. You could even do something like clove or pumpkin spice. That would be delicious as well. Give that a whisk up. And that is the custard done. So now over here, I've got the bread. And I'm using Texas toast because that's what I'm buying lately, but you can use literally any type of bread you want. You just want to use about 12 slices. I'm just going to cube that up. I've got some over there as well. And this is a great recipe if you can find a bag of bread on the on sale rack. You actually want your bread to kind of be a little stale when you're making French toast because it's just gonna absorb more of that delicious custard. So add those bread cubes on into that bowl, along with the rest of these bread cubes because we're making big batch. And then, because it's breakfast, we want to add a little bit of fruit. So I'm adding about 1/2 cup of blueberries, but if you wanted, you could do raspberries, you could do strawberries. Again, also loosey-goosey measurement there. Just toss it on in. And then I'm gonna fold everything together. Now, if I was making this without all you lovely people here, I would set this aside for about 1/2 hour just to let that bread absorb all of that delicious custard. But to be honest, if you baked this off right now, it'd be great. And if you're someone who's a baker, you're gonna say, Mary, you're making bread pudding. And you wouldn't be wrong. It's essentially what it is. But we're calling it French toast, because then you can eat it in the morning. All right. So just give that a good mix. And then I've got a greased muffin tin here. And I'm just leaving it plain. I'm not putting any wrappers in there because I don't really feel like dealing with them, first of all. And your little French toast muffins don't get as much of a golden brown kind of crust on them. Just kind of scoop all of that delicious mixture into these pans. And you're gonna think you have too much, but you don't. You wanna like really press it in there. You just wanna mess it up. This is where you're like, oops, Mary, what are you telling me to do? But it's gonna work out. Just keep on scooping. And again, if I were to let this rest, all that custard would just be in that bread. And that's gonna give you like even fluffier, more dense, delicious, kind of rich custardy French toast muffins. So scoop that on in. I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna pretend all of those are done. And then I wanna bake these in a 350 oven for about 25 to 30 minutes until they're golden brown. And as you bake those, the muffins kind of puff up a little bit. They get so beautiful and wonderful. And then you end up with these little babies that right now kind of look like a butter tart, but they're not. Like, look at those little muffins. I am so thrilled about them. Plate them up. The best thing about these as well is you can store these in the fridge for up to 5 days for a grab and go. Pop them in the microwave or the oven or toaster oven. I'm sure you could also, what are those fryer things called? Thank you, air fryers. You could probably air fryer if you want it extra crispy. But if you're like me, I like to fancy it up with a little bit of powdered sugar, because why not, especially if you're going fancy. Just dust that over top. Or, you know, you can also just drown your own personal one in a little bit of maple syrup. And I go big on maple syrup, and then give it a bite. If you wanted, you could put lemon zest, orange zest, any type of berry. Oh my goodness. Now that is delicious, but I'm a savory gal. So when we come back, we're making the savory version. Just in time for back to school, I'm making my quick and easy make-ahead French toast muffins 2 ways, perfect for breakfast and snacks on the go. Before the break, I made the classic sweet ones with some blueberries and maple syrup. But now it's time for the savory people in the crowd. You know those people who are like, it's not breakfast if it doesn't have bacon. This one's for you. So the first thing I want to get started on is that bacon. I've got 6 strips of bacon right here, and this is my #1 tip. Anytime you're making bacon, whether it's in a pan or in the oven, start it cold. Do not preheat this pan. Don't even preheat that oven if you're cooking it that way. Add this bacon into the cold pan, because you know, bacon is fatty. It's delicious and wonderful. But if you put it into a hot pan first, what can happen is it kind of sears all that fat in. It locks it in, so you end up with like kind of burnt bacon, but also really fatty bacon. But if you start it in a cold pan, that fat kind of melts out, and then the bacon crisps up. Also, you get extra bacon fat to work with later, if you're one of those people, which you should be. So just add that bacon on in. And then I'm gonna transfer it over the heat. Now, since we started in a cold pan, you can pretty much cook it over whatever heat you want. I'm going like medium high. Just cook that until it's nice and crispy and delicious. So while that bacon gets going, I've got some green onions right here. So I need about 4 tablespoons of those, just thinly sliced. If you wanted to, you could use chives if you're feeling a little fancy, or you have them growing in your garden right now. Even a little bit of basil would be delicious. Rosemary with bacon in a French toast muffin? Yes, that would be wonderful as well. So just thinly slice those up. And I've got, oh, I'm getting flung with green onion. There I go, a little green onion in my face. Oh, those bouncy boys. Okay, cool. So slice those up nice and fine. And I have got that classic custard-soaked bread here. I've got the same amount of bread, same amount of eggs. So it's 6 eggs, 1.5 cups of milk. We got those nice slices of bread. But instead of 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, I just put in 1, because I do like a little bit of maple syrup still in my savory stuff. I'm gonna add those green onions on into there, along with a little bit of pepper. This is savory French toast. We do savory French toast in our house all the time. It is such a good spin But I'm not gonna lie, you still need that maple syrup in there to give it like that French toast breakfasty vibe. So that goes on in. Now I've got a cup of grated cheddar cheese. Even if you're doing a sweet French toast, put cheese on it. You'll thank me later. It's truly the best thing in the world. Add that cheese on in. And then I've also got some bacon here. So I've got that cooked bacon. I'm gonna chop that up. And just like before, I just wanna pop that into that pan. Again, I haven't lined the pan in anything because I want nice golden caramelization on the outside. Stir that up, pop that in the pan. Lucky me, I already got some bacon because it smells like bacon in here and it's about to smell like even more bacon in here, which is always a good thing in the morning. So you just pop those into the oven just like before. Same at 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes. And you end up with these, which look so good. You've got that amazing little bit of those green onions in there. That bacon like smells out of control. They puff up just enough. Plate them up just like you did before. And if you're in my house, you put some maple syrup on that. And since I don't eat bacon, I'm not gonna do you the disservice of not seeing someone enjoy this delicious savory French toast muffin. So my good friend Chris is gonna take a bite of this. There you go. Yeah. We do it right here on The Good Stuff. Chris, I hope you enjoy that. He's dripping with maple syrup. We have to take a quick break, get him cleaned up, and we'll be right back. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of The Good Stuff.